The dinosaurs that live on this earth have begun roaming in herds. They've built nests and started raising their own babies in the wild.
Oh my god.
This is the Hunted, Ark's hardest mod, where you're no longer taming dinos by forcing food down their throats. Instead, you must find out herds, eggs, or babies and steal them for your own. I had one goal in mind to complete in the next 100 days, to defeat the dragon. Aw, shit. Our journey starts on the beach, where I woke up with eczema. I started picking bushes and getting together a basic kit for the challenges that were to come. I ran into my first look of what roaming babies would look like in the wild. A baby Phiomia. So I don't think I can tame these. After some smacking of some rocks, I decided I would put nature to the test and attack a parasaur, which would normally run away from me. If I attack this, is this gonna attack me back? It is! What the f- That's not normal. Oh, but it's stuck though.
Oh my god, stop bro, I'm stuck!
Sucker. Oh! I made that parasaur rest in pieces, and I threw all of its meat into a campfire, where I would cook meat throughout the night. On the morning of day 2, I killed the child of that parasaur that was now cooked meat. Is that messed up, if I kill this thing? I spent much of the day poking around in the local fauna business, and none of them seemed to like my company too much. Dude, what? Oh my god. I'm heavy. These things are mad at me. Let's try and take this parasaur out. So interesting that you have to scale hide like this. After a long day of mass murder, I was able to make a raft and set it up as my first base of operations. On day 3, I sailed down the shore and found a flock of pteranodons, and I just knew there had to be a nest nearby. I think they're trying to protect their nest. I can try and go look. Oh god, there's kind of a lot of them. I'm gonna try and sneak up on this pteranodon. Yeah, there's a nest under it. See? I think this is a nest. I don't know. Examine nest. Search for unhatched egg.
Yeah, boy.
Oh yeah, a medium fertilized egg. Is everything good? Oh god, they're all coming for me now. I quickly realized pteranodon eggs were not going to be easy to obtain. What is this? No, he's coming for me, please, please. I spent pretty much all day dying. Dude, why do they keep coming? Please don't. Oh my god, is that a Tuso? It's coming for me. Psych! I eventually secured the egg, and after they had flown off, I had harvested a Morelotop's body that must have drowned out in the ocean. I mean, we got hide from it. I spent the rest of the night making a forge and harvesting some resources that I could reach off of my raft. On day 4, I had smelted enough metal to make myself a smithy, which would help me get a metal tools. The local dodo population was reduced to 0 as I plucked their feathers so I could make more arrows and spears. I'm like killing all the parents and leaving the babies. I found a Hesperornis mom and a dad, and then I arrested them. In peace, of course. I then grabbed their golden eggs. Oh shit. I tried fighting a raptor, but these things were invincible, apparently. Thankfully, it was too distracted eating other dinos in the area.
I'm dying.
I found a few other nests in the area, killed a giant alligator, and by the end of the night, I had found my way back to my raft for safety. On day 5, I couldn't help myself and just had to hatch these eggs. Yes, they're finally incubating. Yes. Named Greg. Oh, that's a girl. Greg too. I wasn't paying attention though, and I overheated myself to death. I loaded Greg and Greg onto my raft, and we sailed even further down the shore to see what we could find. We found an Argentavis nesting area, which I knew was way too difficult to get to. Oh, in the bottom right of my screen it says I'm in the Argent area.
Oh, what the hell is that?
Dude, get away from me. Night approached and I tried to sneak away, but an Argentavis came and ruined my night. Oh my god, I'm being chased, Megan.
Huh?
Oh shit. It even killed my 2 new friends. I spent the entire night sailing all the way to the highlands, and in the morning I found some beached whales that I harvested for their oil. A supply drop was nearby, and in it I found my first implant. In this mod you can't make saddles with just hide and fiber. You need to find these implants and infuse them with a certain level of DNA to make the saddle. So they're really important. The rest of the day was spent gathering general resources and killing a few bugs for chitin. The chitin is used in kibble recipes, which can be used to lure wild baby dinos under your command.
Kibble. What can even be tamed with basic kibble?
After landing on the easternmost part of the highlands, I ran inland and found a herd of triceratops guarding their nest.
Budge. That's a lot of trikes.
I tried making my way to the Wyvern Trench, but this proved to be a pretty dumb idea, as the bugs in the area were very deadly.
Dude, I hate it here. Oh god, there's like everything following me. I'm dead.
Oh my god!
After being reminded of how dangerous this new world was, I decided it was time to find a dino that I could raise so I could properly explore the world without dying every other day.
Oh look. I can tame this. Maybe I don't need to steal an egg. I'm gonna get the kibble. Tame that baby. There you go. Should I bring it back to my raft? Is it raising? Yeah, it is.
The end of day 8 was spent cooking meat and feeding my Iguanodon some berries. On day 9, I ran around once again naked, and I opened a few supply drops. After some time, I finally found a Zeta implant, which is exactly what I needed to make an Iguanodon saddle. I then went over to the Triceratops nest from earlier, and I stole one of their eggs. I very much regret this decision though, as the Triceratops did not like being messed with.
Oh shit.
The Zeta implants are low tier, so I activated it with my own DNA and crafted an Iguanodon saddle. I went back to where my Iguanodon was now fully grown, but as I was leveling him up, I was ambushed by a Triceratops herd.
Maybe I need to run with my Iguanodon? What? And then it just dies? What just happened? Dude, go away. Oh, this thing's gonna kill me.
My Iguanodon was killed.
I see, baby.
I knew I needed another Iguanodon, so on day 10, I ran back to the herd and found another baby to tame. I spent all day and all night waiting for it to raise, and by day 11, I ran back to where I left it. The mom, however, let me know that she didn't like that I stole her child.
Oh my god. There you go, my Iguanodon just raised. What should I name it?
Dinosaur. Riding Dinosaur was awesome, and I was able to travel so much faster. I even let Dinosaur fight some of the Triceratops herd, and I trained her up to be very powerful. We committed so many crimes over the next few days. Oh damn. Until I forgot to feed her and then she slumped. On day 15, I took Dinosaur for a ride through the redwoods. We spotted our first apex predator in the wild, so we made sure to keep our distance. What's that? Holy shit. Holy double shit, is that a giga? It is. There might be a nest around here. I used Dinosaur as a pack for all the heavy resources that I farmed, and by nightfall we were back at the raft since it was too cold to stay out for long. I was attacked by a wolf the next morning. A really stupid wolf.
That's not good.
But thankfully Dinosaur was there to neutralize the threat. This part of Ragnarok was way too dangerous to set up a base, so we set sail for Viking Bay, where it was much safer. On the way back, I spotted a Gallimimus herd, so I broke all of their necks, and I stole their eggs. I did the same thing with a nearby Carno nest.
Okay, that wasn't much of a problem.
On day 17, I thought I was sly enough to snatch a Wyvern Egg. It didn't go so well. Oh shit.
I'm in danger!
I went back to sailing for the rest of the day until I came across the Argentavis nest. I was back to avenge Greg and Greg, and the Argent knew it didn't want to die.
Did that thing just break stone? Okay, I need to book it once I grab this egg.
Day 18 was my building day and started to craft the structures needed for a secure area. Spiked walls were going to be essential to prevent dinos from breaking in. While crafting, I traveled a bit up the mountains to see what was living above me.
Oh shit, there's a lot of carnivores up here. We're just gonna stick to the beach.
After a sleepless night of crafting, I started placing down the foundation of what would be my home. I don't really remember when I killed this Carno. I actually don't even know if I was the one that killed this Carno, but I harvested it for some meat. The local Argentavis population had discovered I was building up, and they weren't too happy about it. So I took a crossbow and a few arrows, and I tried my best to drive them away.
Thing is almost dead. Now we have meat cooking and charcoal smelting.
Every time I went out for more resources, the Argents would fly back down and annoy me. My Iguanodon was not able to reach them in the air, so I made a long neck and I became the American Sniper. Construction continued throughout the night, and by day 21, I had a dino pen to secure anything I raised. I spent the rest of the day slowly moving all of my supplies from the raft to the inside. On day 22, I woke up to sea scorpions knocking out my Iguanodon. After she woke up, I had a genius idea to block off the Ankylosaurus herd and take their eggs for free. Their sharp spikes made my Iguanodon bleed, so I don't think I was going to kill the Ankies anytime soon.
Oh yeah, they've got like huge resistance.
Day 23 was spent taking out more of those pesky Argentavis and killing off any other pest that came to bother me.
An Allosaurus. How does that thing just walk over my...
Day 24 rolled around and I needed more chitin as well as resources in general to make more kibble. I rafted over to the bottom of the volcano where there are many insects to kill. The snakes, however, were not to be messed with. I wasn't paying attention and one spit venom on me, which knocked me out and killed me. I ran back to my Iguanodon, which was now knocked out, and I protected it with my long neck.
No.
Until another snake came along, and it fucking spat on me.
I need to wake up.
Please wake up. Wake up.
Good thing I had this armor on.
Day 26 has arrived, and I used the organic polymer from the insects to make a ghillie suit. I left my Iguanodon on the raft because I was going on a suicide mission. I knew of somewhere that I could parachute to get an egg, and hopefully get it close enough to the exit.
See, I died here earlier.
Oh my god.
I did not. It lagged.
Wow, you full sended.
I see an egg right here.
Are you gonna kill them inside?
Oh god.
What?
I mean, they're all over there. Once I pick this egg up, they're gonna... Oh, look, another egg over there. Okay, I'm gonna pick up the egg. And then run down this tunnel to the right and try to escape. And then if I die, it's okay because I can just pick up the egg after. Here we go. Oh, I got stuck. Oh no!
Oh, that was one.
Where did I die? Somewhere over here, right? There. Item cache, personal inventory. Oh, we got the Wyvern Egg.
My plan worked flawlessly, and when I returned back to the Viking Bay, I was so excited I started incubating it before I even got home. 3 minutes.
We are home. Oh, it hatched. What are we naming it?
Oh, he's green, so I'll name him Green Tea. There you go. Day 28 was spent working on upgrades to my home. I placed compost bins, which are like doo-doo bins, to start fertilizer for some crops, and I built a roof access for more space to refine raw resources like metal. I also hatched the Ankylo egg and named it Spike, because, well, it has spikes on it. On the night of day 29, Green Tea was fully grown, and on the morning of day 30, I took her out to try and train her up and make her strong. We then flew over to the beaver dams, where we annihilated anything that looked like a beaver.
Destroy them all.
I took the paste and I flew a bit more down the river where I found more Giganotosaurus, to which I promptly poisoned to death and took their egg.
Oh, 3 activate or deactivated. Let's go.
I eventually made my way over back to the Wyvern Trench, where green tea was now becoming a powerful wyvern. I found out she was capable of killing other wyverns, but she took massive damage from the other elements and I didn't want to risk losing her. But I killed it in one bite. Oh my. Wait, that actually does a lot of damage. I spent the rest of the day force feeding her meat, which would heal her, and eventually went back to the trench to grab a few more lightning wyvern eggs.
2 lightnings. I'm gonna kill this wyvern before I take those eggs. Dude, my wyvern is OP. Alright, let's grab these lightnings.
When I arrived back home, I took some time looking through the saddle crafting kit to see what resources I needed for an ankylo saddle. The Anki would help me gather resources at a much faster rate than I could ever do with a pick. I did try and find those resources in the desert on day 33, but I came back home empty-handed, so I decided I would try again the next day. On day 34, a baby sheep was walking outside of my base, which reminded me I needed to start making a higher tier kibble, so I flew across the bay to kill a few salmon so that I could turn their eggs into kibble. After searching for like a really long time, like an unspecified amount, I finally found the resources I needed, which was silk.
I needed this. I need a lot of this actually.
I anticipated getting industrial structures soon, so I made the stop at the volcano to gather obsidian, which would be used to make polymer. I also took the chance to kill the Alpha Rex living near my base. Jeez. That night, tragedy had finally struck. I was fighting the evil shrimps to gather black pearls, but realized the shrimps knocked out the Iguanodon way too fast.
It just passed out underwater. That's not good. It's about to drown. No!
No! It was a very sad day. Rest in peace, Dinosaur. That was his name, by the way. No, her name. That was her name, by the way. It was Dinosaur. I knew I wanted to make a metal raft that would be much faster in the water, so I killed more sea scorpions and harvested their black pearls, as there was the resources needed in the parts list. After spending the night farming some crystal, I started day 38 by placing a fabricator and crafting polymer. I put on scuba gear to get more black pearls, and I flew back to the volcano for another load of obsidian. On day 39, I finally had my Anki saddle crafted, and I placed down my motorboat on the shore outside of my house. Yes, motorboat. On day 40, I tamed a sheep.
Wasn't paying attention.
That's literally all I did. On day 41, I tamed another sheep. And then I cut its wool. That's literally all I did. Day 42 was another boring day, where I just fed my dinos and moved both my sheep indoors. I also checked on my doo-doo bins, which were finally making fertilizer.
Yeah, boy.
I started constructing an area for my Anki on the night of day 43. Once the morning rolled around, I fired up the boat
and went to the stone pillars above the Viking Bay, which were rich in metal resources. That works perfectly. My contraption was working perfectly, so I spent day 44 and part of day 45 farming as much metal and stone as the boat could hold. Pull all the metal. 30,000 metal. I arrived home and made a grill to cook meat in. It was much faster than a campfire. Day 46 was spent harvesting all of the hide and the tooth from the Alpha Rex I killed earlier. I'll save you the time of me standing there for literally almost 10 minutes straight, holding E. And on day 47, I slapped down as many forges as I could make. I needed a ton of metal for my future plans. Now we got some production. The rest of the day was spent looking through saddle kits and thinking about exactly where I wanted to build a new base. On day 49, while pondering a bit more, I launched an attack on the evil shrimps that were now repopulating. I also queued up more polymer and electronics in my fabricator, as these were going to be crucial pieces to my industrial structures. The sun rose on day 50 and it had come to my mind what my final plans were. I upgraded my motorboat with more storage to prepare, and I sped over to a cluster of trees down the shore. Being as advanced as I was now, I made use of the chainsaw to gather a massive amount of wood. That's actually a ton of wood. Yeah, 20k wood right there. Day 52 was spent gathering a massive amount of stone using Spike. Day 53 marked the beginning of my base that would overlook Viking Bay. This spot would provide plenty of living space along with a breeding area down below for any dino I wanted to raise. Day 55, I cut my sheep's hair. That's literally all I did. I flew over to the beaver dams for more building materials, but me and Green Tea had a bit of an accident. I just killed myself on accident. That's not good. So on day 56, I took my second Iguanodon, who I named Dino, and we booked it over to the dams. After that slight rescue mission, I was back to building. So this would be the crafting area. At the end of day 57, I had finally all the metal smelted to make an industrial forge, which is 20 times faster than just a regular stone forge. I placed the beginning of my crafting area on day 58. And when the sun started to set, I installed lamps on the roof so I could continue working throughout the night. I think that's just about it. Day 59 was moving day, and I transferred all of my belongings over with the motorboat.
which made this a very easy process with just one trip.
Very nice. Everything transfers up here. Can pull that right in here. Have my saddle bench right there. Still need to work on my breeding area down there. Let's make some gunpowder now. It is pizza time, guys.
On day 61, I was in the middle of streaming the playthrough when it was time for a massive pizza break.
Pizza time.
Hey, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, do everything so that I know to release more videos like this one. Let's get back into the video.
Alright, let's enjoy the view while I eat this pizza. I'm eating Papa John's pizza. For all you pizza lovers out there, what is your favorite pizza, huh?
So day 62, I began constructing stairs that would let me get up and down from my base without having to use green tea. I really wanted to start hatching all of the rare eggs that I've collected, but I needed a living nest to properly incubate them. So on day 63, I headed deep into the ocean for angler gel, which is part of the recipe.
That was a fail.
Ooh, anglers.
Oh shit, this thing's fast. Jesus Christ.
I went all that way and I forgot a hatchet to harvest it.
I came all the way down here and I forgot the hatchet.
So I had to return on day 64. With the angler gel secured, I placed down my living nest and started incubation of my lightning wyvern and Giganotosaurus.
Yep, it incubates the eggs. Wait, is this one too cold? Are there any other nests?
No.
This is the biggest one. Maybe it's not in the middle. Oh, there you go. 30! I cannot believe that takes 33 minutes. Yes. What should we name it? Sparky.
I needed more crystal and there wasn't much around where I lived, so I traveled to a cave on day 66 where I knew there would be a lot.
God damn, it is dark in here.
Luckily, I brought a miner's helmet so I could see and I wouldn't get lost.
There's crystal. Yes. I need all of this. Now we got windows. To the window. To the wall!
On day 67, I set off for the volcano once more. This time I had my Anki in a cryopod, so I could gather much more obsidian at once.
Alright, we're at the volcano now. I should have thrown my wyvern out earlier. Oh shit! I just got surprise attacked. And now I'm dying.
I needed this obsidian because I planned to eventually take on the lava golem, which requires rockets and grenades.
Carry this. Oh god. I'm gonna knock out now. Off. This is great. Look at my dumbass.
And then, the best day was here.
Oh yes, boys. It's day 69. The sun is rising on day 69. If you guys can't tell yet, it's day 69.
There's no specific reason why this is the best day. It just is.
Ah yes, what a beautiful morning on day 69. I just realized something about the Giga. I don't think I was there to claim it. Come on, come on. Wow, this thing got big. Alright guys, day 69. We're blessing the base. Day 69, boys.
Day 70 and 71 were both boring. I had to wait all day for my fabricators to craft up the resources I had farmed yesterday. I was, however, able to place some vaults for more secure storage. On day 72, I started building a proper greenhouse for effective crop growth. There were some crops that I needed for future dino saddles. And by day 73, I had loadout mannequins that were ready for any gear I wanted to swap out. I began searching for Deinonychus eggs on day 74. The Deinonychus is agile, it does bleed damage, and it works well in groups. It was a perfect fit for a dino I wanted to take to fight the dragon. Many days passed where I was flying aimlessly and looking in the wrong nests. There's a lot of stuff in here. But I eventually came across a pack that was terrorizing the swamp.
Oh, Deinonychus. 3 nests over there. Oh shit. Oh look, a baby. I don't even know what this one wants. See if we can find more.
Before I knew it, I was back home incubating a ton of eggs on day 78. And by day 79, I had a mini army of them, which would eventually lay eggs of their own. Day 80 was spent planting coconut trees. You need fiber from the coconuts in order to make Deinonychus saddles, which is why the greenhouse was so important. Much of day 81 and 82 was spent breeding Deinonychus and being AFK for the most part. So I won't bore you with that. I did get Dino to do a berry run, which would be useful to craft stimulants for the dragon fight. I needed to find a Iguanodon egg, which is in the snow. My character would not survive in the cold wearing desert cloth, so I went over to the beaver dams to harvest some pelt. That would be used to make fur armor, so I could expand my boundaries of exploration. On day 84, I started cooking a bunch of medical brews to combat the cold that would deal damage to my character. I did a lot of breeding throughout that day. And on the night of day 85, I started crafting rockets to explore the lava golem dungeon.
Died at my own stairs.
I crafted a mind wipe to change my stats on my character, so he was better prepared to carry gear instead of farm resources.
Gonna need these to change my stats so I can go running the lava golem.
Fast forward 3 days to day 89 and you can see just how much Deinonychus I've been breeding. It was an extremely boring process of feeding them meat and waiting for their imprint timer to run down, but I really needed 18 Deinonychus if I wanted any chance in defeating the dragon. By the end of the night, I was able to be fully kitted and ready to go. And we'll take all ammo and grapples. On day 90, I arrived at the entrance of the lava golem. This dungeon was filled with booby traps and creatures, so I had to be on my toes.
Alright. Day 90.
Green tea was way too big to fit inside, so I was forced to go on foot.
There doesn't seem to be any dinos in here. I wonder if it has to do with the hunted mod.
This dungeon is huge, and falling into the lava meant instant death. I was careful with my steps, but I grappled quickly throughout the cave and collected as many drops as I could.
I heard some dinos.
When I reached the cave that was sealed by crystal, I slowly broke my way in. The lava golem was huge, but it had a weakness. Being made of rocks made it take much more damage from explosives.
Oh shit!
So I sat carefully on the ledge and I fired away.
God damn!
Once I rested him in peace, the loot was all mine, and the loot was more than worth it.
Wow, this was actually awesome. Got a shotgun BP, a crafted shotgun. I'm gonna dump mine right now. We got a bunch of saddles, some fur armor.
I sprinted out of the cave as the creatures began spawning in, and eventually made it back to Green Tea to finish our heist.
Level 78. Let's go. Some very nice loot.
On day 91, I came across two Iguanodon's parents. This was going to be an essential dino for my fight with the dragon, as the Yuji's roar gives courage to your dinos and increases their damage output.
Iguanodon.
I quickly made it home and took a look in my saddle crafting kit to see what was needed for a Iguanodon saddle.
Black pearls, cocoon silk fiber, and shag green hide. Well, I know shag green hide is from megalodons. Yelly.
On day 92, I started the hunt for all of the pieces I needed to make that saddle. I'm telling you, I was not stepping into that boss arena without Yelly.
There's the shag green.
Enemy spotted.
On day 94, I was having a really hard time finding this one resource, so I had to watch a tutorial. It was a long process, but by day 95, I had secured everything that I needed. I think I have some cocoon silk at home, so I don't need to look for one more. One extraordinary saddle. This can go in Yelly. Alrighty, boys and girls. Some of you are not going to be happy with this, but on day 96, I set out to collect the artifacts. I ran by a few locations and the artifacts were not spawning in at all. I would leave the area and come back, even waited for about 15 minutes like one Reddit user had said, but I had no luck. That is frustrating. I did go ahead and spawn in the artifacts for myself, and I let my character sit AFK for one in-game day as I felt this was about how long it would have taken me to gather them up. I just really did not want to end the 100 days without getting to fight the dragon. Day 98 was my leveling and healing day. I selected 19 of my best Deinonychus, and I fed them as much meat as they could eat. Day 99 is here. I was anxious, but I was ready. It took all day, but I walked Yelly and my Deinonychus army over to the blue obelisk, where we would portal in. Alright. Day 100. The initial contact was an absolute disaster. There were Pteranodons and Dimorphodons attacking me, and the dragon's sidekick Manticore had started attacking before I was ready. Despite this, I whistled aggressive and encouraged my Deinonychus to fight back. Griffins had spawned in, but to my surprise, my Deinonychus continued bleeding the dragon to death. The dragon stood no chance, but I realized he was the least of my worries. The Manticore was summoning rock elementals and more griffins, and my team started to be overrun. The Manticore even poisoned my Uranus and put it to sleep, which left me on foot to fend for myself. Oh no. My HP was low and I was being poisoned, but just when things were looking hopeless, oh my god, with 100 health to spare, I was able to put him down. So that's it guys, that was my 100 days playing Ark's hardest mod, The Hunted. If you enjoyed, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and leave a comment on which day was your favorite. See ya!